So, today we're reading from Srīmad Bhāgavatam, 2nd Canto, Chapter 5, text number 11. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Yena Sarvapchisha Vishram.
Yena Sarvapchisha Vishram.
Jayam Yaham.
Rochitam Rochayamaham.
Tarka Viryata Samo.
Canto Niyata
Haraka.
Shagata.
Yena Sarvapchisha Vishram.
Yena Sarvapchisha Vishram.
Kapitam Rochayam Yaham.
Rochitam Rochayamaham.
Tarka Viryata Samo.
Yatha Niyata Samo.
Haraka. Yena Sarvapchisha Vishram.
Yena Sarvapchisha
Kapitam Rochayam Yaham.
Rochitam Rochayamaham.
Tarka Viryata Samo.
Yatha Niyata Samo.
Haraka. Yena Sarvapchisha
vishvam
Yena swaruchisa vishvam
rochitam rojayamyaham
Rojayamyaham
Yatharko gir yatharsomo
Yatharko nirasomo
Yatharksha grihataraka
Yatharksha Yena swaruchisa vishvam Yena swaruchisa vishvam Rochitam rochayamyaham Rochitam rochayamyaham Yatharko niryathasamo Yatharko niryathasamo Yatharaksha grahataraka Yatharaksha
Yena swaruchisa vishvam
Yena swaruchisa vishvam
rochitam rojayamaham Yatharko niryathasamo Yatharka grahataraka
Mataji?
Yena swaruchisa vishvam
Yena swaruchisa vishvam
rochitam rochayamyaham
Rojayamyaham
Yatharko niryathasamo
Yatharko
Yatharksha grahataraka
Yena
By whom?
by whom?
Saruchisa,
Saruchisa,
by his own effulgence.
by his own effulgence.
Vishvam,
Vishvam,
all the world.
all the world.
Rochitam,
Rochitam,
already
Already.
created potentially.
already created potentially.
Rojayami,
Rojayami,
to manifest.
to manifest.
Saham,
Aham,
I,
I,
yata,
Yata,
as much.
as much.
Arka,
Arka,
the sun.
the sun.
Agni,
Agni,
fire.
fire.
Yata,
Yata,
as.
as.
Sama,
Soma,
the moon.
the moon.
Yata,
Yata,
as also.
as also.
Riksha,
Riksha,
the firmament. Graha,
Graha,
the influential planets.
the influential planets.
Taraka,
Taraka,
the star.
the stars.
Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada. I create after the Lord's creation by His personal effulgence known as the Brahma Jyoti. Just as when the sun manifests its fire, the moon, the firmament, the incidental planets, and the twinkling stars also manifest their brightness. Purport. Lord Brahmaji said to Narada that his impression that Brahma was not the supreme authority in this creation was correct. Sometimes less intelligent men have a foolish impression that Brahma is the cause of all causes. But Narada wanted to clear the matter by the statement of Brahmaji, the supreme authority in the universe. As the decision of the Supreme Court of a state is final, similarly the judgment of Brahmaji, the supreme authority in the universe, is final in the Vedic process of acquiring knowledge. As we have already affirmed in the previous verse, Naradaji was a liberated soul, and therefore he was not one of the less intelligent men who accept a false god or gods in their own ways. He represented himself as less intelligent, and yet intelligently presented the doubt to be cleared of the supreme authority so that the uninformed might take note of it and be rightly informed about the intricacies of the creation and the creator. In this verse, Brahmaji clears up the wrong impression held by the less intelligent and affirms that he creates the universe of variegatedness after the potential creation by the varying effulgence of Lord Sri Krishna. Brahmaji has also separately given this statement in the Samhita known as the Brahma Samhita 540, where he says, Yashdan Prabha Prabhavato Jagananda Koti Kotish Vashesa Vadanadi Bhuti Vinam Tad Brahma Nishkanamanantam Shesha Bhutam Govinda Bali Purushantamam Vajami. I serve the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Govinda, Primeval Lord, whose transcendental bodily effulgence, known as the Brahmajyoti, which is unlimited, unfathomed, and all-pervasive, is the cause of the creation of unlimited numbers of planets, etc., the varieties of climates and specific conditions of life. The same statement is in the Bhagavad Gita 14:27. Lord Krishna is the background of the Brahmajyoti, Brahmano hi pratishtaham. In the Nirukti or Vedic dictionary, the import of pratishtha is mentioned as that which establishes. So, the Brahmajyoti is not independent or self-sufficient. Lord Sri Krishna is ultimately the creator of the Brahmajyoti mentioned in this verse as Surochisa, or the effulgence of the transcendental body of the Lord. This Brahmajyoti is all-pervading and all creation is made possible by its potential power. Therefore, the Vedic hymns declare that everything exists is being sustained by the Brahmajyoti, Svavam Kavidam Brahma. Therefore, the potential seed of all creation is the Brahmajyoti, and the same Brahmajyoti, unlimited and unfathomed, is established by the Lord. Therefore, the Lord Sri Krishna is ultimately the supreme cause of all creation. Aham Savasya Prabhuvaha, Bhagavad Gita 10:8. One should not expect the Lord to create like a blacksmith with a hammer and other instruments. The Lord creates by his potencies. He has his multifarious potencies. Parasha Shakti Vivinaya Shruyate, see Srīmad 13:65 purport. Thus, as the small seed of a banyan fruit has the tendency to create a big banyan tree, the Lord disseminates all varieties of seeds by his potential, Brahmajyoti Surochisa. And the seeds are made to develop by the watering process of persons like Brahma. Brahma cannot create the seed, but he can manifest the seed into the tree, just as the gardener helps plants and orchards to grow by the watering process. The example cited here of the sun is very appropriate. In the material world, the sun is the cause of all illumination. Fire, electricity, the rays of the moon, etc. All luminaries in the sky are creations of the sun. The sun is the creation of Brahmajyoti, and the Brahmajyoti is the effulgence of the Lord. Thus, the ultimate cause of creation is the Lord. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Datta Vadakamala Shri Guru Vaishnava Shri Rupa Sagrajatam Sagana Raganatam Vitam Tam Sajiva Sadaitam Savadutam Parijana Samitam Krishna Chaitanya Deva Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakam Vitamscha Namah Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Svamaniti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Acharya Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschaspadeshasarya. So, it is quite appropriate that we are learning from Lord that He is not the original source of everything. He is speaking today, I create after the Lord's creation by His personal effulgence known as the Brahmajyoti. So why do I say it's especially appropriate if we're hearing Brahmaji enlightening us today? Why is that? Well, we're in his Sampradaya. The Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya. So here today we're blessed by the head of our entire Sampradaya enlightening us as to where everything comes from. Everything does not come out of nothing. Everything comes from something. So I was giving this point at the San Francisco Yoga Center recently in California to some non-devotees, and one lady, she said, well, what is the original something must come out of nothing, with her idea. Original something, and I said, no, the original something is self-manifested. The original something cannot come out of nothing. Nothing comes from nothing. But the original something does not come from something. That some original something is self-manifested. So here we are learning from Brahmaji, the supreme authority in this material existence, materially and spiritually. The supreme authority. But where is it actually coming from? After the Lord's creation. So then one could ask, well, why the Lord is even doing this? Why Krishna has to create them? Can he just be, he's on the run, isn't it? Why can't he be happy on his own? Why bother with so many living entities? Some of whom bloop, who give up Krishna consciousness and run, try to enjoy separately in wisdom. And why does he even bother to do all this? As I many times explained, love means two, Krishna and you. If there's no living entities besides himself, there's no loving relationships. So Krishna is the original enjoyer of rasa, or loving relationships. So he manifests from himself an unlimited number of living entities with whom he can have loving relationships. So I've explained many times that love means voluntary, so you have the choice, love me or leave me. So for those who choose to leave, he gives them facilities, like the government here, the Australian government. If you choose to not abide by the laws of the state, they give you a place, it's called a prison. All right, I've got a place for you, you're a naughty kid, okay, here's a place for you. So this is described here how it comes about. Brahmaji is empowered by Krishna. He doesn't act on his own strength, he acts on the power of Krishna. To set up this whole thing going on. Very nice point being made here. He does not manufacture the seeds, but he takes the seed, as Krishna did, and he cultivates that seed. So he's a secondary creator, he's not the primary creator, the secondary creator. So Bhāgavatam points out that some think Brahma is the original creator. But Brahmaji says no, he's not the original creation, the original creator. He very powerfully states in so many verses in the Brahma Samhita, Ishvaraha Paramaha Krishnaha Satchidananda Vigraha Anadi Radhi Govinda Sarva Karana Karanam. Krishna is Ishvara Parama, the Supreme Godhead. He has no origin. Anadir, Adir, he is the origin. Sarva Karana Karanam, and he is the cause of all causes. Brahmaji describes many, many amazing aspects of Krishna. If you study those Govinda prayers, it's actually amazing what we can find. Especially 32. Pangamni Yashasakalamdi Vritti Pasyanti Pante Kalayanti Charam Jaganti Ananda Chinsan Ananda Chitvagalavu Vigrahasya Govinda Manipurisham Tamahapajami. I worship the Beni, the prime of the Lord. It was the Sultan, but worship him, see. I worship Beni, the prime of the Lord. Forgetting the translation. See, Ananda Chinmaya Sazuva Vigrahasya Ananda Chinmaya the ultimate emptiness. No, I'm forgetting. Well, forget that point. I decided to relate, but I'm going to be all I'm forgetting. But the point is that Krishna is absolutely amazing. Everything about him, every limb, every aspect, even his fingernail has the power to manifest everything. Every hair in his head has unlimited potency. Krishna, every part of Krishna is Krishna complete. There's nothing that's separate. Every part, every limb of his transcendental body, there's all the full-fledged functions of every other organ. He can see with his fingernails, he can hear with his hair. He's not restricted like we are. I can only see with my eyes, and only hear with my ears, but Krishna can do any one of his functions of any one of the bodily organs. So it's a very amazing thing to study with Krishna. So then, one could ask, why should we accept this? So we just blindly accept these statements. Why do you Hare Krishna people believing in all this stuff? One could ask. Because you're from India, that's why you accept it. Well, I'm not from India. Why should you accept this stuff? We're blind followers, or we're scientists. Actually, all these truths can be confirmed by one's own practical experience. It's like the taste of sugar candy is sweet, isn't it? If I tell you, well, my dear sir, the taste of sugar candy is sweet. And somebody's never, he said, what is sweet? Never heard of it. Well, you taste it, then you know what it means. If I try to explain philosophically what is the meaning of sweet, how can you explain it philosophically? Well, it's nice. You want more of it. But how you actually understand sweetness unless you taste it? Understand this point? If you taste it, then you can understand what it means sweet. So Krishna consciousness is like that. You try to explain it in so many ways, philosophically, logically, etc., but it still remains unknown until you actually taste it. So these great acharyas, Narada Muni, Brahmaji, down to our beloved Prabhupada, they're teaching us how we can actually taste and experience it. I remember there's a poem on one of my godbrothers. Sweet, sweet, what a treat, candy beat those two lotus feet. So the Prabhupada is actually opening up a door to us with this transcendental sweetness, transcendental sweetness. We can actually taste something better than any of the so-called sweetnesses of this material existence, whether it's money, power, sexual intercourse, whatever you may say. You can actually experience something that's transcendental to this material existence. So when you actually experience something transcendental, then you realize that you know it. It's not blind faith. You're actually there. You're in it. You're living in it. So, by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada and the great Vaishnava acharyas, beginning with Brahmaji, Naradaji, all the way down the whole line, Brahma, Madhva, Gaudiya, Sampradaya. And the present-day acharyas also were speaking on behalf of Srila Prabhupada. By the mercy of these very great acharyas, we can be transported into another dimension. It's like we can read regarding Tulsi Devi, we can read in the Nectar Devotion. Suddenly, like remembering Tulsi Devi, you're living eternally in the Vaikuntha realm. Can you imagine? You can actually live right here, right now in the Vaikuntha realm immediately. Today, Saturday morning at 8 a.m. You can actually be transported to Vaikuntha realm just by remembering Tulsi Devi. This is actually mystical stuff. You can actually taste and experience living in that realm after a while, you grow up, you deserve to peak physically and then down the other. But when you actually tune into the transcendental dimension beyond this material existence, which is available, chanting Hare Krishna mantra, remembering Tulsi, hearing the Bhāgavatam, bowing down before Krishna in so many ways, remembering the Vaishnavas in so many ways, tasting prasadam, going to Vrindavan, going to Mayapur, engaging in devotional activities, cooking, cleaning, raising funds, etc. All these activities actually enable us to live in a transcendental dimension beyond the cycle of birth and death. So you actually can experience, you can actually feel, you can taste the ecstasy of being in a transcendental realm beyond all the sufferings of this material existence. Then you know it's real. You experience it. You know what sweet means because now you've tasted it. So we're inviting the whole world to taste this. The knowledge, the teachings, this is the scientific process. The bottom line is the scientific process how to enable us to taste these. Bhakti rasa. What's the other word for it? Krishna consciousness. It's not just some slogan, Krishna consciousness. No, it's an actual scientific experience. Krishna consciousness. We can actually, it's a Bhagavad genius translation of the term for Rupa Goswami. To taste the nectarian nava of bhakti. Now we get the same, the Sanskrit word to relish the transcendental nava of bhakti. So Prabhupada very nicely, and which is connectable with the material society we're living in right now, there is simply with Krishna consciousness. So we have to actually dive into what is called Krishna consciousness. It doesn't mean being a member of an organization. It doesn't mean putting tilak in your nose and kantimal on your neck. Krishna consciousness is actually a dimension beyond this material existence. And we have all the facilities. We have our Japamala, we have the Arti ceremonies. All of these things are vehicles that enable us to enter this dimension called Krishna consciousness. And so we have to master this art. The Bhagavad Nectar Devotion explains in great detail how, the first part, how to enter this dimension of Krishna consciousness. And the second act tells us what it's like to be in that dimension. The second act is a sneak preview of what it's like to actually be living in that dimension. Can you imagine being in direct contact with Krishna and his transcendental pastime? Being a member of Krishna's transcendental pastime? Can you imagine what that would be like? To actually be living and associated with Krishna and his lila? There's so many nice examples given in the Nectar Devotion. There's the cowherd boys of the same age, Vyasa. I forget the Sanskrit word. He has certain cowherd boys who are older than him and younger than him. He has some of the same age. This category of cowherd boys, they were seeing Krishna holding the Govardhan. They're feeling sorry for him. Somebody's holding him. He said, well, can you just give it can you transfer it to, I think it was Sridhar or Subal, I guess which one. He said, Krishna, why don't you transfer it to one of the other cowherd boys? They didn't take charge of it for a while. Must be getting kind of tired of it all. So then he said, well, if you're not going to do that, at least switch hands. Put it so we can massage your left hand. Can you imagine being in a position to request Krishna to shift hands so we can massage your hand? Just imagine being in that situation, you see. To be in that kind of intimate relationship with Krishna. And the cowherd girls, and there's the flute. Just imagine being in an intimate relationship with Krishna and all these amazing pastimes. So that's there waiting for us. It's called Sarupa, our original forms. But don't try to jump artificially. They're called the sihajjas. Oh yeah, I'm sure I'm a gopi, I'm tasting gopi bhav, I know I'm Miss Manjari. This is all nonsense. And still attracted to women, and I'm still thinking I'm a gopi. You know, it's ridiculous stuff. So we have to understand I'm a neophyte, and I have to follow the pathway of the neophyte, sadhana bhakti, very carefully following the rules and regulations, rising early, offering the Mangal Arti, all of these things that we've learned from Prabhupada. We have to follow them very sincerely, very dedicatedly, and then gradually, there's a beautiful sun coming up on a spring morning in the eastern horizon. Gradually, that Krishna sun will arise in our hearts. But actually be in our original relationships. But actually the devotees don't even care about it. They're very happy to serve Krishna's materialism. It's just birth after birth. Birth after birth, give me, O Lord Chaitanya, causeless mercy, you feed me mine. Whenever that day be mine. So the devotees are very happy even to serve in separation from Krishna. There's a nice bhajan by Narottam, Hare Hare Vipala, you know that bhajan? Prabhupada has translated in English. Amazing, a beautiful English poetry. Here's how it goes in English. Although I come to this human form, my Lord, I spent my life uselessly. I did not care to serve Ram Krishna, so must follow poison knowingly. Harekrishna mantra comes straight from Krishna Loka, but with chanting I have no connection. Day and night I'm burning in this dark world without working to make the correction. Lord Krishna comes as Sachi's son, Bhagavam descends as Nitai. By chanting the wretched have all been saved, including Jagai and Madai. O my Lord, O son of King Nanda, together with Vrishabhanu's daughter, I've got no shelter but Radha Krishna. Humbly praise Narottam Das Adhikari. Although I've come to this human form, my Lord, I've spent my life uselessly. I did not care to serve Radha and Krishna, so must follow poison knowingly. So just see, this is one of our great acharyas, Narottam Das Adhikari. He's talking about Gopi Bhav. He's praying someone who's actually qualified and actually surely experiencing the original rasa with Krishna. But is he talking about that, trying to dive into that? No, he's finding the sweetest nectar by diving into that ocean of the pain of being separated from Krishna. I'm drinking poison knowingly, not caring for my beloved Bhagavatam Krishna. So this gives us some idea of how we can awaken that feeling within our heart. My Lord, I'm your devotee, but I'm still here in Brisbane trying to squeeze pleasure out of the combination between the senses and the sense objects. Actually, to lament that our fallen position, you may say, some that don't be depressed and you're think positively. But no, this is actually the highest ecstasy, to taste the pain of separation from Krishna consciousness. That's the highest level of Krishna consciousness. Say, oh yeah, Prabhu, I'm really advanced, I'm a Brahmin, initiated, I'm pretty advanced, Prabhu, I'm the temple president and the treasury, I'm pretty advanced, Prabhu. The more you feel yourself the most fallen, despicable rascal, now you're starting to wake up. Now you're starting to wake up. So that feeling of separation, we can cultivate that. Very nice feeling. These Vaishnava acharyas, they're teaching us in these bhajanas how to awaken that feeling of separation. Bhaktivinoda also especially. Kabbe hambe bhava sedinam. When will that day be mine? When my offenses ceasing, taste for the name increasing, when in my heart will your mercy shine. Kambe hambe bhava sedinam. When will that day be mine? Aparada gucci, shudaname gucci, kriva bode hambe lido ye sanchar. When my offenses ceasing, taste for the name increasing, when in my heart will your mercy shine. You see, this is this hankering for prema bhakti. That's the insider secret. How to get prema bhakti. Hanker for it. Hanker for it like anything. Here I've been suffering for countless lifetimes. I've been blessed by Prabhupada and his followers with the seed of bhakti, but still I'm not taking it. I'm still thinking of how to enjoy this material world. Unfortunately, I'm still trying to taste pleasure in this place where there is actually not even a slight tinge of pleasure. How stupid I am. In Spanish is a nice word, stupidísimo. Stupidísimo. And they say, I am very stupid. Yo soy stupidísimo. Yo soy muy stupidísimo. I'm very stupid. Yo soy muy stupidísimo. In Texas, Spanish is the second language. In Montreal, French is the second. In Texas, second is, even you call up and say, well, press 4 for Spanish. So it's, yo soy muy stupidísimo. I'm very stupid. So we shouldn't be stupid like this. There's a very nice story. Probably everybody knows the story, how to be very stupid. I think everybody knows, there's a nice story I can tell it again. I love this story. Sargal Singh, you know the story of Sargal Singh? Anybody knows the Sargal Singh story? It's an amazing story. You know, it's really funny. The story I become very stupid. So anyway, one day the washerman came to see one of his friends, you know. He shaved his head. When somebody dies, out of lamentation, you shave the head. Because we don't shave for that purpose. We shave the celebration. But there was a custom in that village anyway, to shave your head when somebody died. So the washerman came in to see his friend, he was crying. Sorry, my dude, he served me so nicely, and now he's dead. So felt he served me, now he's dead. And I shaved my head. And his friend said, well, my friend is all lamenting about Sargal Singh. Well, I will also lament. And he shaved his head. He went back to all the village. Sargal Singh is dead. Oh no, Sargal Singh is dead. Everybody shaved their heads. They're all, the whole village, they shaved their heads. Then somebody said, some intelligent person said, who is this Sargal Singh? He went all the way up to the Vishnu. Oh, it was my ass. My ass. He carried the ass and the laundry goes down the river. Right? He loaded up with the laundry go down the river, so his ass died. So the whole village was lamenting him for the ass. So we have a tendency to do that, in the material world. So-and-so said, so-and-so said, so-and-so said. And we're carried away by these untruths. So-and-so said that you can enjoy it by the tongue, with the belly, the genitals. It's going down, it's all over the internet, it's all in the advertisements, things are better. I don't know if it's still out there. When I was a kid, it was things are better with Coca-Cola, things are better with Coke. My parents wouldn't let me take it. I thought, what kind of parents do I have? They only drink Coca-Cola. So all these false propagandas are going on. We're misled by this false propaganda. So then someone like Prabhupada comes along and says, wait a minute. Who are you listening to? Who are you taking your knowledge from? Some rascals don't know what the hell's going on in this world. You're taking knowledge from them? Don't be a foolish, sorrowsome lamenter. Try to understand what you can really become happy and joyful. Try to understand where the real happiness. You already have unlimited happiness within you. You don't have to go to college to get a degree to become happy. You don't have to marry some woman and have sexual intercourse to be happy. You don't need any of this stuff. Because you have unlimited happiness already there within you. You have an ocean of unlimited transcendental bliss sleeping within you right now. It's got to dive in. And here's how you die. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Say, I tried, but I didn't really taste anything. Well, the key is find somebody who's tasting it and associate with them. That's how to get the taste. It's like by Sangha. It's like we hippies, we got the taste by associating with Prabhupada. The hippie saw someone who was tasting and relishing Hare Krishna mantra. And by chanting in his association, they can also get the taste. So association is the key. Find somebody who's really diving deep into that ocean of bhakti rasa, and you associate with them. And by, what is that sloka? Sankarsan Das Adhikari Prabhu. One's consciousness is developed according to one's association. So if you, as they say, hang out. If you hang out with those who are taking bhakti rasa, you can get it by that association. By being, not by submissive, not finding fault with them, but saying, let me see what I can learn, I can derive, how I can become inspired by this person. Instead of coming in judgmentally, well, his tilak is a little crooked, his dhoti is not on straight, You have to come in submissively, how can I take advantage of this person? That's what we did with Prabhupada. We saw a person who was perfect. Every aspect about him, his humor, his seriousness, his knowledge, his loving feelings. It's amazing how loving he actually was. I'll give you a little story. I wasn't like Jagata, but tons of association. I joined later on in a far distant temple. I got virtually zero association. The little bit I got was very special to me. I was not initiated yet. We'd come from Texas to go to the Ratha Yatra, and then Prabhupada came to Los Angeles Temple after the Ratha Yatra festival. There was a very nice system they had in those days in Los Angeles. The famous morning walks, right? He would come back in the morning walk on Venice in the park or on the beach, and he would get out of the car on the curb, and he would walk down the sidewalk to go in front of the temple building on the side, and he'd go up to his quarters. So he had a little walk there to go on his way to his quarters. So all the buddies would line up down the sidewalk. Everybody had a flower, and Prabhupada had a basket of flowers. So you would give Prabhupada a flower, and he'd give you one. So you had your own, just you and Prabhupada for 30 seconds. It was you and the whole world. It was just you and Prabhupada having a loving exchange. The two of you. Can you imagine how ecstatic that would be? Just you and Prabhupada having your one moment together. Just make put in a video here. When I had your one-on-one with Prabhupada for that 30 seconds. It's like eternity. Goes beyond time and space, actually, that 1 minute. So anyway, I was about number 3 in the line, and probably on down. But then there's something I describe in this way. It's called drinking Prabhupada into your heart through your eyes. Even if you remember the deity, the same thing. But you drink even a picture, you can do the same thing. It doesn't have to be his physical presence, a picture, a deity, do the same thing. So anyway, I was wanting to give that darshan on his Prabhupada. When he finished the line of the flower line, I was going in front of the temple building, getting ready to go to the side of the building up the stairs to his quarters. So I just stood there, maybe 1 or 2 steps up, just looking at him as he came by, just drinking him into my, just taking an intense darshan. Came by. And Prabhupada looked up. Here's somebody who's not in the flower line. And Prabhupada wondered, I wonder if he's got the flower line yet. So Prabhupada helped, no words, his body language, he held the flower. Did you get one yet? I did. And I showed just Prabhupada had the flower. But it was so sweet. The amazing thing about Prabhupada was this, and it's just unbelievably amazing thing. he would treat every devotee, not just the GBC, the Sannyasi, the temple presidents, he would treat the head pujaris or whatever. He would treat every single devotee as if they were the most special person in the whole world. Can you imagine that? I know from my own experience, I'm just a rank and filer, but Prabhupada would treat every single devotee as the most special person in the whole world. That's an amazing quality he had, isn't it? So when you get so much love from somebody, what do? You want to exchange it, right? If somebody gives you the sweetest, most selfless love, the natural thing is you want to reciprocate. So that's how Prabhupada, this movement came into existence. That love that Prabhupada gave, you want to reciprocate with it. And then that love filtered out. Then, for example, I was wanting to become like a congregational member, not one of those initiates. Because I was a songwriter, I followed George Harrison's example, writing Krishna conscious songs. Not one of those brahmacharis, with saffron robe, initiated. I wasn't ready for that. But then one day, I had a recording of the London devotees singing Garbhastakam. Samsadadava. Maybe you heard the recording on the Harekrishnatemple album. They were singing with such love. I never experienced such love. Hearing the love they were giving to Prabhupada. Because Prabhupada had given them so much love in San Francisco, New York. They had experienced so much sweet love, selfless love for Prabhupada, now they were reciprocating. So simply by hearing they're reciprocating with Prabhupada's love, that was it. My heart melted, the tears were coming down, and I was thinking, wouldn't it be beautiful if I gave my life to Prabhupada? So that's the only thing initiated. It was that love, the way they felt loving, the way they felt love for Prabhupada, and I knew that it's a whole other dimension. I wasn't there. But by following their example, becoming a disciple, surrendering myself, I could also taste the love. I could experience the same loving feeling they had for Prabhupada. I could also taste the same thing. So I always explain this is how the basis of our movement is not rules and regulations, it's not buildings, it's not bank accounts. It's loving feelings. That loving feeling between the spiritual master and the disciple, and then between the Vaishnavas also. Between the Vaishnavas, also. That pure love is all coming from Prabhupada, coming down from Krishna to Prabhuji, to Narada, Vyasadeva, Madhvacharya, all the way down to the Ishvara Puri, Madhavendra Puri, Chaitanya, Goswami, on down Vishnu Chabrani Thakur, Das Thakur, down Bhaktivinoda, coming down that sweet, loving rasa of selfless love to the Supreme Person is devotee. That's pure love that has come down to us. And now we can taste it also. And we can enter that mood of bhakti, which is pure, selfless love without any slight tinge of selfishness. We can taste that love, we can experience that love, we can dive into the ocean of those loving feelings. That's called Krishna consciousness. So, does anybody have any questions? Any arguments? Any doubts? I love doubts, by the way. If you have some doubts about this process, some doubts about ISKCON, I'm here, I'm ready. To me, doubts are like a baseball, I like the bat. I have like a bat, transcendental knowledge, throw the doubts at me, and boom. I'll hit those doubts and make a home run and they're down. Boom. I love the doubts. I have one disciple in Austin, Chaitanya Bhani, I call him Mr. Doubt. He always brings his doubts out. I love him. Because we all have doubts, we're too embarrassed to admit it, right? But he's not embarrassed. He brings all the doubts and put them on the table, and I can destroy the transcendental knowledge. It benefits everyone. Then it's good for me also. Because the thing is, we're not experiencing Krishna face to face, eye to eye right now because of our doubt. Bottom line. Actually, Prabhupada ordered me, now I become Prabhupada, it's just like I'm seeing you face to face. We can actually see Krishna face to face, eye to eye. It's not just a deity, we actually see, in the deity can actually, the deity can see the deity of Krishna himself, and Krishna can talk with us. Can you imagine? As he did with that Sakshi Gopal Lila. You know that Lila, everyone knows that Lila. The deity can actually, even the deity, come off the altar and walk with you. That's the potency of Krishna Bhakti. And we actually come to that level, so the doubts are holding us back. We have these doubts, lingering doubts, the contamination of lingering doubts that have kept us here rotating in karma chakra for billions and billions of lifetimes. Any questions? Yes? I'm hard of hearing, I'll try my best. It's all fuzzy in my ears. This, even without the mic, if you speak slowly and articulate very carefully, just as I am doing right now. If you have clear articulation of words, I can probably make it out even without the mic.
Thank you, Prabhu, for a wonderful class and your personal experience. We are very grateful to you for your presence here and your visit to Brisbane. I'm just gathering courage to ask this question because you said if there is any doubt, you are, and I'm ready to face.
I love the dance.
And I'm also ready to face your bat. So
you're what?
I'm also ready to face your bat. So your baseball bat.
Yeah.
I'm ready to face that.
You want me to take it? Okay, let's sit it down.
We've been serving in Brisbane for almost 30 years.
What about 30 years of what?
We've been serving in Brisbane.
You personally?
Yeah, me and my family.
You've been initiated 30 years ago?
No, serving in Brisbane.
Serving, okay.
Yeah.
Very good.
And when we see that our movement is made of, basically it's based on mercy.
Our movement is based on mercy.
Yes, and when we see that the mercy is not flowing towards us as in this temple,
we're not feeling the mercy is coming towards us.
Yes, then even after trying so much, what do we do from here?
You don't feel you're getting the mercy, you feel like being mistreated, you're not getting the mercy, something like that?
Yes, I mean not by Krishna and Prabhupada.
You feel the mercy within but not from the other devotees? You feel the mercy of Prabhupada and Krishna but not from the devotees? Is that what you're saying? Basically?
Some devotees...
some devotees you don't feel you're getting mercy from them. You mean getting rudeness,
yes,
or abusiveness?
Not so much
abusiveness.
Not abusiveness.
Or neglect?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Even though, yes, I mean, we admit that we are.
I know the feeling.
Yes.
Where you feel like they're not really being very kind to you, they're neglecting you, or sometimes even I'm experiencing they're being abusive to you sometimes. He goes that far with me also. So how do you deal with that psychologically and be alive about this movement, for example, right?
Also, can I just interrupt here before you answer? I have discussed this with senior devotees.
What with senior devotees?
I have discussed this with senior devotees.
Differences?
No, yes. So
differences?
yes.
Yeah.
And all what we are told is just be patient. Krishna, he acts in a way that we have to be patient and mercy will flow.
Yeah.
I think I have personally waited for a long time.
And the difference, even after waiting, the differences are still there.
Yes, and we can argue and counter argue. And present 108 arguments for both sides.
I know exactly what you're talking about. I'm dealing with myself. Yeah. So how to deal with it, how to understand it. Well, you gotta take it to a higher level. Just like you're an airline pilot, right? You're flying along, you get a storm. What do? You go a higher elevation above the storm. So on a certain level, in this time there's a storm going on. A certain level. Because there's difference of opinion, quarreling, offenses. It's happening in the space of action. But you just gotta go a higher level. And you see, well, it's all Krishna's arrangement. Tell me to from the pure devotee. That's the way to really not be disturbed by it anymore. The difference of opinion, the fighting, and it's going on. We have different opinions, arguments. It's a fact. So if you have to see behind all of this is a loving hand of Krishna. Ultimately, everything that's happening under Krishna's orchestration, even Prabhupada's Prabhupadas, for example, they tried to steal Prabhupada's disciples. They preached against Prabhupada, his own disciple. This is what he went through with his godbrothers, you see. So those things go on in Vaishnava culture because we're Kanishtas, we're not Madhyama Uttamas. Among Kanishtas, these kind of things are happening in classes. I sometimes say, Klesha Desha, sometimes they call them Klesha Desha. It's because Kanishta mentality. Kanishta. So we have to come to the Madhyama platform, you see. And there you can, on the Madhyama platform, instead of wanting to be appreciated, which is Kanishta mentality, but might not have been appreciated, that's Kanishta mentality. Come to the Madhyama platform, whether they appreciate me or not, I'm going to appreciate them. Every devotee is among us neophytes. We all have a combination of good and bad qualities. I have my good side, my bad side, you have your good side and your bad side. All of us. Until you reach Prabhupada's level, we all have our good and bad sides. Let's face the facts. So the Vaishnava Buddhists see the good qualities in that person. They always see the good in that person. Now sometimes as a matter of duty, we have to point out the bad side, not as a matter of fault-finding or one-upmanship, but as a duty to help somebody. Like the spiritual master has to point out the faults in his disciples, not in a mood of one-upmanship or lording it over, but in a mood of loving service. So if we do want to disagree with somebody, we want to point out what we see are their faults, it always has to be in a mood of loving service, trying to help that person, not to try to put that person down. Vaishnavas mean always trying to help everybody up. Let me always serve the Vaishnavas by trying to help them up, go higher and higher and higher, you see. So I kind of touched on some of the points, but the real bottom line is you have to see everything is happening and acting under the direction of Krishna for my benefit and for the benefit of this, ultimately for this whole movement. Does that help a little bit? I know if I got it right to your point, but in that area at least I touched on the point.
Yes. The main concern what we have is the devotees, that in the entire process, the devotional service and the devotional mood of the devotees is getting affected very much. So, and we have...
That's why we have to...
And we have...
the devotees who are disturbed by this, and people leave ISKCON also. They leave ISKCON because the account is going. So it's up to the senior devotees to shed light on this whole thing. That's what I'm trying to do by my preaching. Shed light on the whole thing, because we're meant to come together as a loving family. Whatever conflicts are there, we have to, even they have a part of ISKCON called ISKCON Resolve, you see. So we have to be ISKCON resolvers, each one of us should be acting and preaching in such a way to help the devotees get over these conflicts. That's a Madhyamādhikari. So you see the difficulties, and he works very diligently to help devotees who are having difficulty with the difficulties, to get over the difficulty. So it's a great opportunity for one who, actually it's a golden opportunity. Such conflicts are a golden opportunity for the preachers who actually want to give special blessing from Krishna. Krishna says there's no one more dreamy than the preacher. So the conflicts going on is a golden opportunity for you, Prabhu, to actually be a conflict resolver, to be able to preach in such a way that brings peace and harmony. Just imagine the mercy you get from Prabhupada. If there's conflicts in his movement, and you can preach in such a way to resolve those conflicts, just imagine the mercy you get from Prabhupada. You see, become the most dear follower of Prabhupada when you see this devotee is actually preaching in such a way to resolve all the conflicts in my movement, to bring the whole movement together as a sweetly harmonious family. So it's a great opportunity. It's a golden opportunity. Instead of feeling bad about it, say, wow, what is that saying? Opportunity knocks. It's a great opportunity for someone to arise and become a very powerful, enlightened, compassionate preacher to bring all the devotees together as a loving family. It's a great opportunity. Don't be disturbed by it. Take it as a blessing to be able to see this stuff. And now you go into Prabhupada's books, you pray about it, you study what he writes about in his books, you go deeper into the teaching and see how he can actually be a pure, powerful, empowered instrument of Srila Prabhupada to take our movement beyond all these conflicts. Like the airline pilot going above the storm. I had one time, the other day I had a realization, sometimes they leave ISKCON, because my thing is don't leave ISKCON, lead ISKCON. We need devotees who can take leadership roles. I'm talking about managerial, I'm talking about preaching. We need devotees who can take leadership roles to show those who are bewildered by the conflicting activity. We need devotees who can now become leaders of ISKCON. So don't leave ISKCON, lead ISKCON. If you see difficulties in our movement, then you rectify them. You be a leader of ISKCON. Don't be lead ISKCON, you lead ISKCON. That's my realization. I just had the other day that realization. Because so many people leave ISKCON, they don't like difficulties going on, and they leave. But no, lead ISKCON, don't lead ISKCON. That's my realization. Lead it, don't lead it. Now you be a leader. It's a great opportunity to become a powered Vaishnava Acharya, actually. Does that help a little bit?
Thank you.
Don't leave it, lead it. Yes?
Sorry, following from Acharya, this is a common frustration in our leadership, I guess. So, I think what the challenge of the last statement you said, where you say, don't lead ISKCON, but lead ISKCON.
Now, what I'm going to do, maybe somebody can come tell me in my ear what he said.
Oh, sorry.
One of you can come and tell me in my ear, because I can't I'm hearing loss.
Okay.
Go ahead and finish, and I'll try, and somebody can help me, if you can come and help me.
So you're saying, can you hear me now? Okay.
Tell me the whole thing, but it has to be in the ear, not in the microphone. But no, go ahead and say to everybody, and then go ahead and say for all the devotees to give the question. Go ahead and ask them.
Okay.
And then you can help me in the ear. My driver, you can come to Bruce. Without me, microphone, you come to Bruce. Usually it was, you ask it, and you can tell me what it is. Sit down. I got a whole system for my hearing loss, I think.
So,
Sit all the way down.
So yeah, I heard the last statement, which is very ideal, and it takes time. But the challenge we are facing is they're using the weapon of ISKCON to attack us. That is the problem. We can't even, I know ISKCON is not an organization, it's a community, it's people, it's Prabhupada's body. I've heard of this. But they're using that exact instrument to actually counter us. So we can't, it's very tricky.
Is that it? It was. They're using a weapon of this kind to do what?
Weapon of ISKCON to just